This moment, right now, could be a dream, a long, deep illusion you forgot you were having. Do you remember when you were young and you would have these intense dreams, so vivid they felt real? You woke up, you were confused, which was the dream and which was real life? You looked around and everything seemed normal. It might be a sign you're dreaming right now. But what if something has changed? What if now things seem normal, but what you see is not normal? Here are some signs that indicate you may be dreaming right now. Suddenly, the road ahead seems to glitch, distorting into a tunnel of light and shadow. Why do people come and go without a trace? These are not just oddities, they're clues, whispers of a deeper truth. Or here, have you noticed how time seems to slip through your fingers sometimes? You wake up every morning with a burst of energy and excitement, ready to conquer the day. Imagine you're fast asleep in your cozy bed, lost in a world of fantasy and adventure. How does it manage to create such vivid and realistic scenarios while you're asleep? Scientists have made some fascinating discoveries about your brain and its ability to create dreams. They've found that when you're dreaming, certain parts of your brain light up like a Christmas tree. The world around you seems distorted, time moves erratically, and you feel a deep sense of disconnection from reality. You're beginning to awaken to the truth of your existence, realizing that what you perceive as real might just be a dream within a dream. You're restarting to see through the illusions of the waking world and questioning everything you thought you knew. You might be asking yourself, what is the point of all this? What am I supposed to do with this knowledge? But here's the thing, my friend. It's not about what you do with this realization. It's about what you choose to do. You have the power to shape your reality. You can choose to stay in this dream and continue living in blissful ignorance, or you can choose to wake up and face the truth of your existence. Either way, the choice is yours. What will you do with this dream? Will you wake up or keep dreaming? This includes the prefrontal cortex, which is responsible for decision-making and social behavior, as well as the temporal lobe, which processes auditory information. But the most interesting finding is that the part of your brain that lights up the most during dreams is the same part that becomes active when you re-experience in real life. In other words, your brain reacts in the exact same way, whether you're dreaming or awake. This means that to your mind, dreams and reality are almost the same thing. You're soaring through the skies on the back of a giant eagle, feeling the wind beneath your wings as you glide effortlessly through the clouds. You were working hard towards a goal, pursuing your dreams and aspirations, and suddenly you realized you've been doing the same thing for hours. You feel exhausted, but you push through the fatigue because you're so close to achieving your objective. But then something unexpected happens. You receive a phone call or someone interrupts you and you're jolted out of your focus state. You're lying in your bed, and the only evidence of your hard work is a pile of unfinished tasks and a ticking clock on the wall. You wonder, where did all the time go? And why didn't anyone wake me up sooner? It feels like you've wasted precious hours and missed out on an opportunity to achieve something great. But maybe you didn't waste any time at all. Maybe you were exactly where you needed to be, dreaming, resting, and recharging for the next day's adventures. Suddenly you wake up. You think it's time to start your day, so you get out of bed and stretch, ready to tackle the world. You're soaring through the air, feeling the wind rush through your hair. When suddenly you realize you're not actually flying, you're falling, plummeting towards the ground, and you struggle to control your descent. But no matter what you do, you can't stop the fall. Then just as you're about to crash into the earth, you wake up. But what if this isn't just a dream? What if you're falling through life without realizing it? You're caught in a downward spiral and you don't even know it. You're chasing after the latest trends, trying to keep up with the Joneses. You're constantly bombarded with messages telling you that you need more stuff to be happy. But underneath it all, you know it's not enough. You're not really happy, and you can't help but wonder, is this all there is? You start to feel like a puppet dancing to the tune of society's expectations. You're going through the motions day after day, and you can't shake the feeling that something is missing. You begin to question everything you thought you knew, and you start to see cracks in the foundation of your beliefs. The rules that you once followed so blindly now seem arbitrary and meaningless. And you start to wonder, am I just following the crowd without really knowing why? You feel like you're losing control of your life, and you're desperate to find a way to make things right. You want to break free from the chains that are holding you back, but you don't know how. You're trapped in a never-ending cycle of confusion and despair, and you don't know how to escape. But then something happens that changes everything. You have a dream. You're flying again. And this time you know you're not falling. You're free. And for the first time in a long time, you feel like you're in control. But then you notice something strange. The room you're in is different. The walls are a different color. The furniture is arranged differently. Confused, you try to remember where you are, but your mind draws a blank. You have no idea how you got there or why. Just then, someone enters the room and asks, "Oh, you're awake. I was wondering how long it would take you to wake up." Confused, you ask, "Wake up from what?" The person looks at you strangely and says, "From your dreams, silly. You were dreaming." But you know you weren't dreaming. Remember everything that happened? So you insist I wasn't dreaming? I was really there? I saw it. The person shakes their head and says, "No, you were just dreaming. It's time for you to wake up." And with that, they leave the room. You're left alone, more confused than ever. You try to convince yourself that you weren't really there, that it wasn't real, but you can't help but feel that there's something more to it all. You go back to bed and close your eyes, hoping to wake up in your own bed in your own world. But when you wake up, you find yourself in another strange place. You're trapped in a never-ending cycle of dreams within dreams, unable to escape. But as the hours tick by, your energy starts to fade. You find yourself longing for the freedom and spontaneity of youth. You miss those carefree days when time seemed to stretch endlessly before you, and every day was filled with new adventures and discoveries. In your dreams, you can still feel that freedom. You can still explore uncharted territories and experience the thrill of the unknown. It's in your dreams that you can truly let your imagination run wild and break free from the constraints of time. One minute you're sipping coffee, watching the sunrise, and the next you're lying in bed wondering where did the day go? Days turn into weeks, weeks into months, and before you know it, years have passed. Where did all the time go? What happened to those dreams, hopes, and ambitions you had? They're still there, buried under the weight of everyday living. They suggest that your life as you know it, your relationships, your experiences, your memories, could all be part of a grand tapestry woven within the depths of a dream. And if that's the case, wouldn't it be fitting for you to wake up and realize the extent of your potential? To understand the vastness of your consciousness and the limitless possibilities that await you beyond the confines of this dream? Wouldn't it be beautiful to awaken and find yourself in a realm where you hold the power to shape your own destiny? To co-create your reality with the infinite wisdom and creativity within you? You shake your head, thinking it was just a trick of the light. Then there are the clocks around town, their hands frozen in place, stuck at a certain time. And then there are the people who cross your path, caught in a loop, repeating their actions over and over again. You might brush these experiences off as stress or fatigue, but what if they're signs pointing to something more profound? What if these glitches are glimpses into the underlying nature of your reality, hinting that what you perceive as real may not be all it seems? 1. The signs of the dream, the glitches we ignore. Have you noticed strange things happening around you lately? Streets that glitch and distort as you walk down them, clocks melting into rivers of time. People who loop and repeat their actions like a broken record. You might dismiss them as simple oddities, or maybe just a lack of sleep playing tricks on you. But what if these glitches are more than just tricks of the mind? What if there are cracks in the fabric of reality itself, revealing the true nature of your existence? Imagine you're driving along a familiar road, the wind whispering through the trees as you go. Think about it. Why does everything feel so familiar? Why do clocks bend and distort in your memory? 2. Time doesn't make sense in dreams. It's like you're stuck in a never-ending cycle of routine and responsibilities. 3. Nested dreams. Dreams inside dreams. Have you ever found yourself trapped in a never-ending cycle of dreams within dreams? 4. The brain can't tell the difference. Have you ever wondered what happens in your brain when you're dreaming? 5. You forgot you were asleep. Have you ever been so engrossed in a task or activity that you lost track of time? 6. What if you're about to wake up? Have you ever had a dream where you were falling? 7. What will you do with this dream? So you've realized that you might be dreaming right now.